know? Are you fully erect? The people demand to know. Senator Wiener, fully aroused. Are you more than 7 inches? Senator Wiener, fully aroused. Are you more than 7 inches? Will you maintain your hot physique and smooth, sexy cat?
That's the Howard Stern guy.
Okay, NBC was covering the Wiener announcement live.
Okay.
The coverage had to be interrupted. Once Benji started yelling, they got nervous that there'd be curse words, I think. Which had to really be crazy because I'm sure if you were sitting there watching, oh, wow, Wiener's going to now do something, and I'm going to watch it, and then NBC cuts away from it. It's weird. You know, I was thinking about this. When NBC and ABC and CBS still interrupt their normal coverage to cover something like this, it only ends up being a commercial for the all-news stations, because when I see this, I go, oh, wow, tune over to the all-news station.
Because they're going to stick with it.
And they're going to discuss it and do the whole thing. I couldn't even watch. I mean, when I started to get the links sent to me, I couldn't even watch. I was so, like freaked out by it. You know what I mean? I was just, like, cringing. I go, oh, my God, Benji went berserk.
When I heard that he was resigning, I said to myself, I wonder if Benji's there.
Oh, Benji was there.
So we helped him.
Yeah. We helped Anthony, and we like Anthony. Except for his pervy things that he does, but we like him. I like all the people covering this. Like, they're not up to pervy shit, too.
Well, that's my question in all this. It's like everybody's acting so holier than thou.
I have to suggest Benji saved the whole press conference. It would have been a rather mundane, boring affair.
You would have heard Anthony Weiner say, I resign.
Right.
End of story. Next story, please.
Which is what you're... It's like when people write us a letter and go, Howard, you cut off that guest. I go, I cut off that guest because, you know what, they weren't cutting it. That's why. You didn't miss anything. Don't worry. You didn't miss anything with Anthony Weiner.
This made it a great press conference.
The press conference was, I resign. After that, he thanked a few interns. That's all Benji did. Now, we do have a new fan because of this. Ann Coulter now loves us. She liked it.
Well, I don't know that that's a good result.
Well, at least she has a sense of humor and understands that Anthony Weiner was saying nothing except, I resigned. That's it.
He wants to be dignified about his indignity.
Oh, but the best is Alex Bennett, who works here at Sirius.
All right.
And honestly, I did forget that Alex worked here. And I've never met the gentleman. I don't believe I have. But he's very full of himself and very upset.
You know, there are times I love this place, and I'm so proud and feel so proud to be a part of what I consider a great broadcasting.
Yeah, by the way, the only reason this broadcasting thing exists for you, my friend, is because of me. Just remember that. As much as it kills everyone around here to admit it, especially management, because they all want to take credit for it. The reason you have a place to show up every day is because of me. Just keep that in mind when you listen to this bullshit.
Signpost, if you will, called Sirius XM Radio. You know, we're doing something here that's never been done before. We're giving you programming like you've never heard before.
He is.
And you're pretty proud of this place, aren't you, Albert?
Yes, it's kind of amazing.
Aren't you proud of it?
Yes, I don't know any different, but yeah, I love it.
Once in a great while, I'm ashamed to work here. And yesterday was one of those times.
Really?
I kept this place going so that guys like him who can't get ratings can work in a place where you don't need ratings.
Why should he be ashamed of what's going on another program? That's the whole purpose of Sirius, that there's divergency.
No, he's ashamed now. Let's go on.
You know, Anthony Weiner got up to say goodbye.
Oh.
It was hard enough for him to do that. He didn't have to get up in front of an audience to do it. He could have just put out a press release.
That's what he should have done.
We should all
so
be on
yesterday
our
was his day to get.
Yeah, let's put a suit on with him. By the way, you got to hear this. This is the best. Don't let's resist the temptation to interrupt.
Get up and say goodbye, and try and do it with some sense of dignity. And then this fucking asshole, Benji, what's his last name? Bronk,
I think.
From the Howard Stern show, starts yelling out things like one of the things was, were you fully erect? Bye-bye, pervert! Bye-bye, pervert. Anything else?
Are you at least 7 inches?
Are you at least 7 inches?
I'm sorry. I'm young and foolish, I think.
Well, I'm going to tell you why you're young and foolish. Because this kind of behavior is so déclassé. It is so yesterday.
But why
it
do
is
they
so
keep
tired and worn out.
It really is.
Why do they keep letting him in? How does he get in there?
I mean, I thought yesterday I was being an old fart by saying this is wrong. And
You
then I
are.
suddenly realized Benji Brunk is the old fart because this kind of behavior, this kind of stunting in radio went out 15 years ago. Am I wrong when what I'm saying, Albert?
It was hot 15 years ago.
It was hot 15 years ago.
Maybe it's like
now
fashion.
it's
It always
just
comes back around.
stupid, wrong, and at least let the guy leave with some kind of dignity, you fucking asshole.
First of all,
Who's the guy who's confirming that it's old?
well, Alex says it's old. By the way, I'm the fucking asshole who invented it. This was not stunting. This was something that I began doing. I used to go, and now you see it everywhere. You see it on the Jay Leno show. You see it everywhere. They go to a red carpet.
Actually, press conferences and red carpet stuff is looser today because of this kind of thing.
Yeah, so I used to go with my megaphone and Robin, and I would, wear my tape recorder on my back.
Oh my God, backpacking the
Yeah.
tape recorder.
And I would go to these things, and I would yell shit out that was inappropriate. As far as it being stunting, now stunting is when the morning zoo pretends on April Fool's Day that, there's a imaginary traffic jam or something. No, this wasn't stunting. This was me going out and kicking fucking ass and taking no prisoners. And as far as it being old, well, then I'm old. So what? Who cares? I love it.
It's déclassé.
Yeah, déclassé. Phony phone calls are old. I love them. I love.
Funny is funny.
Yeah, I love going out to press conferences and doing stuff. I'm sorry, I just do.
I love seeing people's real reactions. There's no reality in Anthony Weiner standing up there saying, I am so sorry, and now I have to leave my job.
No. All right, so Alex has more to say. He loves this place. You know why guys like Alex love this place? I'll explain it to you. There's about 5 million talk shows on here that if they went away tomorrow, no one would know the difference. Nobody listens to them. I'm privy to the numbers. I'm privy to the numbers of people that listen to these talk channels. Here's Sirius. You ready? Here's the sad truth. And Alex ought to know this. He can play this on his show today. Here is Sirius. Howard 100, Howard 101, and the Raw channel. That's it. That's Sirius. If you took everything else away, you'd have just as many subscribers. Whoa, huh? Isn't that something? Howard 100, Howard 101, and the Raw channel. Isn't that something? Whoa, that's kind of mind-blowing, isn't it? So for the rest, guys like Alex, he gets to go on the air in a world where there used to be ratings and he got thrown off radio stations for not getting them. He gets to go on the air every day with his pals and have a
He's
conversation.
embarrassed by what keeps him on.
He's embarrassed by it. So he should resign today. He should leave Sirius. And wait till you see how many people cancel their subscriptions. 0.0. 0.0 people will cancel their subscriptions whether he's embarrassed or not. Just remember, Howard 100, Howard 101, and the Comedy Raw channel. Other than that, you can leave tomorrow. Pack your bags and go. I'm not opposed to criticism. I understand that he feels critical of me, but let's put it in perspective. We're here trying to, for better or worse, keep things going.
I love it when people pretend something terrible happened when nothing happened.
Nothing terrible happened. There wasn't a catastrophe. Let's go on with his commentary, though, because it's so fun.
And who do I hold responsible for it? I'm sorry, I got to say it. I hold Howard Stern
Do
responsible
you know
for
Thank
it.
you.
what his comments were on it?
Huh?
Do you know what Howard's comments were about it?
No.
Because I don't know if I'm sure he chuckled, but I think
He's not on
saying,
the
like,
air today, just like he's not on the air most days.
I think he was saying something like he's a loser.
Well, listen, the days that I am on are relevant. The days that you're on are irrelevant, pal.
Cannon or something along those
Well,
lines.
a loose cannon, then what do you do with a loose cannon? Albert?
Something along those lines. Don't quote me.
What do you do, Albert? With
You don't fill it up with cannonballs.
Well, you don't.
Pull him back.
You fire him.
Fire him.
So, Howard, if you can't control him, why don't you fire the son of a bitch?
Why don't I fire you since I can't control you?
Yeah, you wouldn't have him saying these
Right.
things, would you?
If I wasn't such a nice
He's now
guy,
a loose cannon.
I'd bounce your fucking ass out of here for not doing anything, for not getting any ratings.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm a Benji fan.
Not ratings, subscribers.
I'm sorry.
Well, fuck Benji. Yeah. Benji, Benji is old hat. He's an idiot. And what he did...
An old hat. He's never been in a hat at all. He's trying to get something going.
He's an old skull cap.
Yesterday made me ashamed to be part of this organization.
Oh, good. Alex will quit.
He's no
part
stuttering
of it.
John.
Huh?
He's no stuttering
He's no
John.
stuttering John. Absolutely.
He would have been stuttering John if he had been mic'd.
That was the heyday of that
stuttering
kind of
John.
thing.
Yeah.
I miss him too.
Yeah. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is,
He's no
bottom line...
People are pining away for stuttering John. I
Oh,
like
my
that.
God. They forget how people attack Stuttering John.
Right. Well, yeah, we took a lot of shit over
John
Stuttering
had to
John.
start wearing disguises.
This is like old shit, okay? It's passé.
Yeah.
It's
now
like...
they so love Stuttering John.
Alex is doing the cutting edge stuff over there. Whatever he's doing. If
Well,
anybody,
he doesn't know what the next thing is, but he
Yeah.
knows this is old.
yeah, he's waiting for the next big. Howard, come up with something new. he's bored with this. It's like Gayle King. She don't like it either. Everybody knows what they don't like.
But that's a critic.
I'll take the lead from Alex. You tell me what the next big thing is, Alex. Oh, that's right. You talking into a microphone and droning on and getting no audience. Is that the next big thing?
And look at how much time they're spending on this horrible thing.
Yeah,
It gave them something to talk about.
that's all.
What happens with some people is they find something they do and then they keep doing it over and over and over again. I mean, I think one thing I can say about myself
Listen to
is that
this.
I've constantly reinvented myself over the years.
Patting himself on the back.
If you reinvent yourself in the woods and nobody hears it, does it really matter?
You know, I'm sorry, that played 15 years ago and was outrageous 15 years ago. Now it's just boorish, loudish, boring, dull.
Sorry.
And I think...
We'll try to do a better
Why
job.
would you spend so much time talking about something so boring and dull?
I just want to know what he's doing because nobody's listening. Since he knows what to do, why doesn't he do it already?
He's keeping it a secret.
I see. He's waiting till he's 80 to unveil it. Now's the time, Alex, old man. Now's the time to unveil the new plan for all broadcasters. We're all waiting. We're waiting for your lead, our leader.
In this situation, completely insensitive to a guy who was having a hard enough time saying goodbye without you interrupting. Howard, it's time to find new ways of doing stuff.
Thank you.
You know?
Yeah. All right, well, I'll do that when you do it. Oh, that's right. He reinvented himself.
I don't know who he was yesterday, but he hasn't reinvented himself.
Time for you to invent yourself. Never mind reinvent yourself. I didn't know he invented himself.
So today I have my head bowed a bit in shame.
I'm so sorry. But you know what? You're lucky. Your head is bowed in shame, but nobody knows what you look like. So you don't have to worry. You're lucky. When I bow my head in shame, millions of people see it.
For the for this place today, just simply because our name is
Our name.
somewhat
Hour. I like the hour. Let's see. Would you even have a name if I didn't come here? You should be on the air every day, and you start the show like this. I want to thank God, and I want to thank Howard Stern for giving me a life, a working life, and making Sirius Satellite Radio an entity that actually lives and breathes. And God, please keep Howard Stern working, even if it's 3 days a week, because if he goes away, I then have to do a podcast because I can't get a job in broadcast radio, and I can't attract any listeners, and I can't attract subscribers. So what the fuck am I going to do with my life?
involved with this thing, and I think the least they could have done with Wiener was to allow him to leave with some kind of dignity.
Why?
You know, and now I'm going to get hell from Howard, you know, because he's going to go, well, I used to get hell from Howard anyway for years. If he wants to start a fight, we can start a fight. But I'm just saying, you know,
we're in it.
Stop with this shit already. It's old, you know.
Yeah, and thanks for being an innovator.
Find something else to do. Come up with some more jokes.
Okay, we'll come up with something new pronto because you don't like it.
Come up with some other humor.
some other humor. Well, when are you going to come up with something that gets a subscriber?
We'd like to be talking about you today.
Yeah. You know, people around here go to me, are you upset when Opie and Anthony do something? Are you upset when the Raw Comedy Channel does something? Are you upset when Jason Ellis does something? Are you upset when blah, 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 blah? I go, no, I want somebody to sell subscriptions around here. I'm all for anyone doing anything. No one understands that that's what we need. Alex doesn't feel that pressure. Alex was on terrestrial radio, didn't get ratings.
Yeah, Alex is basically saying, stop bringing attention to us.
Yeah, please don't do it. It's old getting all this attention. Don't bring attention. And he's walking around with his head held up. Well, while you're walking around with your head in shame, my head is filled with, how do I get subscribers? This is what the Alex Bennett show should sound like. I want to thank Howard for going on David Letterman the other night. I want to thank Howard for bringing millions of people here. Howard, it should just be Howard, Howard, Howard. All praise to Howard. That's it. There's nothing else you can say. There's nothing else to say. There's no battle. There's no, you can't battle with me. You haven't done anything. Your career's a waste of time. You're broadcasting to no one. Imagine a career where you're broadcasting to no one. How do you live with that? How do you live with that? When all that chatter is meaningless, he could go on, open the mic, and say nothing. Just sit there, like this. And you have the same amount of people. All praise Howard. Howard, Lord our God, King of the universe, who creates our world that we live in. This whole thing that he's so proud of, I mean, not today, he's not proud of it, but normally, it's all here because of his God, Howard Stern. Can't question God, Alex. You got to just go along for the ride. What a lunatic. He wants reinvention. He wants new bits.
He has demands of you.
This is a guy with a radio show. Go do something. Get a subscriber. Go on television. Let me see you do an appearance somewhere. Help me bang the gong for this place. And by the way, you should suck Benji's dick and lick his anus and taint for going out and risking his fucking life the other day and getting wrapped with a bicycle chain.
Yeah, he thinks that's easy.
Yeah, go do something. At least Benji's trying. At least he's out there trying to make something happen.
He's got war wounds.
Right. Maybe it didn't suit you. Maybe it didn't make you laugh. He was trying to get something going. And yes, it didn't work in many aspects. I'll agree. But he tried. It was misguided in many ways. But so what? It didn't work. So what? I mean, what are we talking about here? We're talking about a maniac getting up there and announcing he resigned. And after that, there was nothing left to be said. I want to thank my wife, Huda, and I want to thank
everybody who worked for me. That's
my
now
intern.
Out of business.
It was like the Academy Awards. I want to thank my producer, my director, Paramount
I want to
Pictures.
Thank my colleagues.
I mean, what is that? Thank my colleagues. I mean,
who
he
were
was
yelling for me to leave.
It was the. Yeah. I want to thank my fellow congressman. Well, you do? They didn't back you.
So ridiculous.
What did he have to say? Nothing. I resign. And it's true. You couldn't hear Benji and all this. But as far as you commenting on me and my attitude towards Sirius, he's hanging his head in shame. Let me tell you something, Alex. I hang my head in shame when I see a guy who changes his name because he's embarrassed that he's Jewish. Bennett Schwartzman is Alex Bennett. It should be the Bennett Schwartzman show. Why be ashamed of your background, your ethnicity? That is curious to me. I'm ashamed today to work at Sirius because of that. Why do guys in radio feel they have to come up with a goyish name in order to work? You can't be Bennett Schwartzman? He reinvented. That's how he reinvented himself. He gave himself a goyish name.
Oh.
Yeah. because he's ashamed. I could write a whole book on people I've met that are ashamed of their back. Why are you ashamed? Why are you so ashamed? What are you ashamed of? You want to do real radio? Use your real name. That's the first thing you do, because then it feels real. It feels like a guy who's not hiding something. Bennett Schwartzman. What's wrong with that name? Oh, I know what it is. It's too Jewy. I'm ashamed I'm a Jew. I'm ashamed of my Jewishness. Well, if you're ashamed of it, say it. Because you are actually, you're saying it. Change his name. Man up. Bennett Schwartzman Show. And call it that. Remember when John Cougar Mellencamp became John Mellencamp?
Yeah.
It was a big moment. Of course, if Alex Bennett changed his name to Bennett Schwartzman and called himself the Bennett Schwartzman, so no one would know it anyway. No one would care.
So it's okay to change it now.
No one around here should comment on anything I do, quite frankly.
Unless they're praising it.
Right.
And helping us get the word out.
Yeah, yeah. Or you know what? If you got a good idea, do it. I mean, I haven't heard any good ideas. I haven't heard from you in years. I don't even know. What have you done for Sirius to...
He's mostly just been proud to be here.
I see. And it's a great, by the way, when you're resting on, you're waiting for me to bring in the listeners. It is so fucking great. You know why it's great? I'll tell you why it's great when you're sitting there waiting for me to bring in the listeners. Because you can go on and do any broadcast you want. You could be boring for 2 hours. It doesn't matter. As long as I keep bringing in the subscribers, you'll get paid. Oh, is that right? Alex Bennett is here now? Good. I'll march down there and fucking talk to the motherfucker.
Benji.
Benji, go in there and start yelling during the show. Does he do a show out of New York?
We're not positive, but we seem to think he's in the building.
If he's there, tell him I will gladly come on his show right now. I'll walk down there and I'll.
You want to go down there?
I want to apologize.
And he can. Yeah, I want to apologize for his shame. I want to meet him face to face.
I'm going to try to bring him here.
Bring him in here, or I'll go there. Whatever way he wants
Whatever
it.
works.
He's an older guy. Yeah, maybe he can't make the walk down here. I'll go on his show right now. You guys just mic me and let me go. Go find out. I'll get the fuck down there. I'll talk to anybody here who's got a problem with me. I want to hear the rationale behind criticizing anything I do.
Yeah, what did Benji do?
And I want to hear what you're doing that's so innovative.
Well, how has he reinvented himself?
Yeah.
And what is the new thing?
Yeah. How have you reinvented yourself? I got to hear that. He's constantly reinvented himself. I'll take a break. I'll be back. And when we tune back in...
Figure this out if he's here.
Maybe I'll be on the Alex Bennett show.
Alex Bennett Schwartzman.
The Alex Bennett Schwartzman show. And then after that, who knows what will happen. I want to hear.
How old is he?
71.
Oh, maybe
72.
you shouldn't go down there.
72?
Yeah, born 1939.
I don't want you giving anybody a heart attack.
I'll go down
You
there.
scare him to death.
I'll go down there, and Alex will have listeners for the first time.
That's what you do. Hey, Alex, I'm bringing you listeners.
Yeah, guess what? Here, feel some pressure. Here's some people actually listening to your fucking sorry ass. A bullshit artist. Take the money and run. Oh, bullshit artist. What has he done? What bit? Let me hear 5 bits you've done in that's gotten any attention for this place. I've never seen you written up. I've never seen you on a talk show. I've never seen you mentioned anywhere to do with Sirius. I don't even know what channel you're fucking on. Bullshit artist. I'll take a break because I haven't taken a break. By the way, I don't even know. All right, well,
What?
I'll take a break.
Did we get finished with Benji's? What's
What
going
is it?
on?
He's on Sirius Left.
I don't give a fuck what he's on. My point is,
Is
I don't
he
know what he's
here?
on. Is he here?
He's talking about you now.
Good. Is he here?
He's
Is he
here.
in the building?
We think he's in the building. Gary just went down.
They
to
don't
check.
even know where he is.
I know.
That's
we
another
can't
thing.
find it.
Tell him I want to come down and confront him.
Gary just went down there.
I know.
Okay, so
He's like the town crier after everybody knows.
His Scott's all charged up.
He's thinking maybe I have to get a remote mic set up.
Can't even believe they give this guy a studio. It's a waste of money. I want to know
Well,
what
you
they.
probably can't get into the studio. It's probably
Yeah.
a little cubicle. Or
Yeah, I probably won't even fit in it. What happened, Gary? Where's Alex?
So he's down the hall.
May I go on his show?
Yeah. He said it's hard for him to
move because he's 71.
No, he says his brakes are short.
His brakes are short.
So he doesn't really.
I don't even take a break.
I want to know if
how's that for an innovation?
I want to know if he wanted to come down here, and he said it's hard. So
I will go down there.
All right. So just give us a couple seconds because I want to make sure we can hear it on our air.
I will take a break, and then
make sure
I will
you're
go.
not in one of his brakes.
That's right. Yeah, because his brakes are short.
Can you find? I gotta go over some stuff now. Can you find evidence? Just ask him if we're ready to do this.
I will. Yeah. I'll bring up Rob in their studio.
Hey. So
all right. So wait, no, I gotta figure this out. So in other words, I get up out of my chair.
You can't. We can't be Mike going down there.
I can't.
It's all the way in the other end.
And it's probably about a 35, 40-second walk.
Okay, that's fine. Now, when I get in there, I can put on.
You put on his headphones as a guest spot, and you should be able to hear. In other words, we should be able to hear Robin, correct?
Yes.
Now, when I hear does Alex hear
Evan
her?
went down there.
Will Alex hear her?
Yes. You'll all hear her.
How does that work? That's great.
1 minute.
I'm a genius.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
That's great.
They have to set the board up in that studio, so they can't
just go in and tell him we're setting the board up.
They can't just barge in. He doesn't want to just barge in.
Well, why can't I tell you what, why don't I just do this? Why don't I just go down on his show?
Okay.
And we can hear
you
it
guys
here.
listen in.
Right.
That's the simplest thing.
Okay.
All right.
You got it, Howard.
That's the simplest thing. I'm going to now walk down to Alex Bennett's studio, and so he doesn't have to be ashamed of our antics anymore.
All right, and the next time we hear you, you'll be in the studio with him.
Next time you hear me, I'll be in the studio with him.
Howard, let's go this way. This way's quicker.
Work the board, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear Scott talking on the phone.
Wait, I gotta.
Hold on a second. Man is coming down the hall. He'll be there shortly. Make sure that the ISDN line is up and running.
Oh, this is going to work out well, I can tell.
I know. This is a disaster in the making.
You see him?
Hold on a second. My hand is up.
You're trading headphones. Oh, so he can listen.
What a
Okay.
nice fit.
Here he comes, ladies
Get the
and
heck
gentlemen.
out of here. This is a crazy town.
Welcome to my humble studio, sir.
Hello.
How are you, Howard? Hey, Alex. Have a seat.
Hello.
Hi.
Now, first of all, it's been 6 years and
There
you've
are
never
so many
said
people in
hello.
here.
I didn't even know you guys were down here. I had no idea you even did a show live from here. And as by the way, your beautiful
Thank you
female
very much.
co-host, is it true JD hit on you?
Yes.
It is.
Kind of.
And you decided not to.
And you
What's with
just-
the
microphone.
Oh, my
Broke
God.
our microphone.
All right. I came here to explain to you guys, and thank you for having
Give
me
him
on.
your microphone.
Here, take this.
Thank you. This is some equipment. I'd be better off on a podcast.
Okay, we don't have the Taj Mahal you've got.
All right, Alex.
Yes,
You
Howard.
said I was just listening to the tape of
Yeah.
your rap on the Benji Bronk incident.
Yeah.
And I was offended and also hurt because you're ashamed to work at Sirius now. And
no, I didn't say. I said there are
You- it was a-
moments when I feel sometimes ashamed to be here because of some action by somebody.
all right. Well,
All right.
what happened?
What happened?
My mic
What-
is Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, what are you doing? All right.
And
What
we
is
can
she
hear
doing?
her on the phone. What's going on?
yeah.
Now my mic's off.
Well, turn-
You guys run a show like I do.
Yeah,
All right. Anyway, so Alex,
Yes.
what I'm trying to say is
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Number one,
Yes.
as far as the Benji Bronk shtick being
Yeah.
old,
Mhm.
it's not old. This is something that we do.
Yeah.
This is something that we take great pleasure in.
Mm-hmm.
We thought going down to the Anthony Weiner thing, while I do
Yeah.
admit that it maybe didn't work in that setting, the idea is that we were trying, and we're trying to make things happen. And because we are here at Sirius, we have to constantly make things happen. You go for them. Some are funny, some aren't.
Mm-hmm.
But you try to do your job the best you can. And I am issuing this to your show and all the other shows at Sirius. Make waves, make noise. This is what's going to keep this company going. We're based on subscribers, and we need subscribers. And when we go out there and we mix things up and we get attention, we are bringing in subscriptions.
So does that mean I should go out on the street now, expose my penis, let people take pictures of it, and me say I work at Sirius?
Yes, absolutely. You should be doing that constantly. Listen, no, I don't say do something you're uncomfortable with. But I'll tell you how the whole Benji thing came about. Benji said, I want to go over to the press conference. And I said to him, Well, if they're asking questions, sure, jump in with your questions. And some of them were very funny questions. The question of whether or not he would maintain his body now that he couldn't tweet anymore. Is it true he's a full 7 inches? The man did a ridiculous act. He had said, I'm resigning. He went in front of the press and therefore didn't want any questions from the press. The whole thing was a circus anyway. It was a setup. I don't even think it was a legitimate thing. If he wanted to resign and do it privately without questions, he should have done what Richard Nixon did. He sat in his office and resigned and read off a teleprompter. He got up in front of the press and said, I'm not going to answer any questions, which is absurd. True, Benji yelled out and you couldn't hear what he said. But the bottom line is this. It created a lot of noise. Benji went out and tried to be funny, and I don't think that's old. I started doing this stuff, 20 years ago.
I think it's really old and tired.
It's not old and tired. In fact, you know, you were saying you reinvent yourself. You can't reinvent yourself unless people know you're here. You're on Sirius XM. You've got to get listeners.
Hey, look,
you've got to do new things, and you've got to mix it up.
Can I say something very conciliatory?
Okay, go ahead.
People are listening to me. When I first came here, there were 350,000 people.
That's right.
Listening to Sirius. You came here, built that thing up to where we had a lot of people.
Right.
And so the reason I have a lot of listeners is because you helped me get a lot of listeners.
That's what I'm saying.
So that I appreciate, and that and I don't deny you any of that.
But I don't feel people have a right around. They have a right to comment on what I do, but I don't think it's fair, because what I'm trying to do is I'm busting my balls every day to make sure we're out there, we're out in the public, we're doing things, we're getting mentioned. I'm going on talk shows. I'm cheerleading
and that's
this
all
thing
legitimate.
so that this universe can exist. In fact, I say that I'm God here because I've created a universe.
All I'm saying is, here's a guy like Weiner,
right,
completely embarrassed, right?
Yes.
It, I think, took a lot of chutzpah for him to get up there and do a press conference. Why he even did a press conference, I think it was pure ego.
Right. Absolutely.
But why he did a press conference is beyond me. He could have sent out a note, and said, I'm resigning.
Especially if he doesn't want to answer questions from the press. Why have a press conference? What is the point?
For whatever egotistical reason he did that,
right?
It had to be an incredibly humiliating circumstance to get up there in front of that crowd and say, I'm quitting, goodbye.
Right.
And to exacerbate that more, you can't, Benji couldn't have done anything to embarrass that man any more than he had already been embarrassed.
Well, listen, I don't think it was so much about embarrassing Weiner as the ridiculousness of the situation. I agree with you. It didn't work as a comedy piece, but we're out there trying. And if you don't try, if you don't go out and take risks, I was saying on the air.
I don't consider that a risk, Howard.
Of course it is. I'll tell you why it is.
I consider it a cheap shot.
No, not at all. In fact, 20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, I started doing a routine where I'd go out on red carpets. I'd put a big tape recorder on my back, and I'd walk around, and I would walk on a red carpet, and I would ask embarrassing questions. And a couple of times I almost got beaten up. A couple of times I got yelled at by members of the press. I took a lot of heat. And yet, was I ruining? Someone said I ruined the backstage at the Academy Awards. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. It's a joke.
I don't disagree with.
So I went there, and it's true. I used it for my own purposes, but it helped catapult my career. It helped make my show funnier, and people loved it. And when I look at what Benji did, Benji said, I'm going to take a shot and try something. If I had been standing next to Benji, would I have said, wait until they ask questions, and then that would be funny? Some of these questions might be sort of funnier. I'd like to hear what the guy has to say. Probably I would have. But Benji went out there and took a shot. And so I approve of that. I do. And I wouldn't rein him in from doing that. I would say, go ahead, as long as you're not hurting someone, as long as you're not going out with a gun and shooting somebody. But if you're out there and you're part of the circus of this thing, which it is a circus, it's a guy who is showing his dick. And he's in there dressed up in his suit, and he's making an announcement. I want to thank my interns.
Howard,
it sounded like an Academy Award speech.
You got a studio in there with a stripper pole and a Sybian, I assume, because I've never been invited to see the studio.
You can come in anytime.
And yet, here you are going on after a guy for exposing his penis.
I'm not going after. I said he shouldn't resign.
By the way, there's only one alleged picture of his penis. The rest of them were just towels and things like that.
I don't think he should have resigned. I said that on the air. I said if Ted Kennedy, who drowned a woman, and he went to bed that night, he slept it off, and then he called the cops. And the guy was a respected United States senator. Bill Clinton got blowjobs in the White House from an intern, and survived that. A guy texting, I don't know. I don't think it's so bad.
So if you're defending him, why go out and embarrass him?
because it was a press conference that was a circus. Benji didn't get it. I think it would have actually, you would have applauded it had Benji been mic'd as part of a press conference where they were allowed to ask questions.
Had they asked
what you're being
questions,
critical. Here's my problem. You're being critical.
I would have even agreed that at the end, if he yelled something at him,
That's
that'd
right.
be okay.
But you're being critical of a guy who tried. And what I'm suggesting today is, and I say this to all serious personalities, you got to go out and try. Everyone stop resting on their laurels.
Trying though, Howard?
Going out and making comedy. Did it work this time? No, but 20 times it can work. It can work. And as far as it being an old and tired, it's never old and tired to take a microphone, to go out on the street and become part of the circus that is life, if you can make it funny.
Okay.
We are critical of Benji because maybe he didn't hit a home run. But did he hit a home run for Sirius? Yes. Was Sirius mentioned on every television channel? Was Sirius?
No, it really wasn't that much.
It was. We just played at
they
least
said
50.
Howard Stern a lot, but they didn't say Sirius.
And where does Howard Stern work?
A lot of people don't know anymore.
Let me tell you, management around here doesn't know either. Howard Stern works at Sirius. Howard Stern works every day. If Howard Stern brings in subscribers, who cares how they get here?
Not every day.
Well, that's right. I don't. But when I'm here, it's an event. And the reason it's an event is you never know what's going to happen. Benji could fuck up. Anyone could do anything weird. But that's what I'm after. And we haven't rested on our laurels. We're going out there and trying to mix it up. And I say that to all personalities. I'm only begging every personality here to make sure that they get on TV today, to make sure that they somehow spread the word.
Have you met our PR department?
Yeah, I have.
They don't really help them much.
They don't. And I'm disappointed in that.
Yeah.
And so I want you today, Alex, to applaud Benji Bronk for trying.
No.
What do you think? Who's with me?
She loves Benji. She thinks Benji's
I don't know if
terrific.
it works.
Here, I'll
Let me
turn
hold
on
it
your
to you.
mic.
Go ahead.
I agree. One big, happy, dysfunctional family.
You bet. Alex,
yeah,
that's my message today. And God bless you.
I'm sorry that we've had to meet under these circumstances.
I was taking off on you pretty heavy.
Because for years, we've known of each other.
That's right. I'm glad I finally got to see you and meet you in the flesh.
Yes.
And I am glad to sit here with all of you. Keep on broadcasting. Keep on carrying on. And remember, start off every show with Praise Howard. We love Howard. Howard. All we can think about is Howard.
Is there money in it for me?
Of course there is. You have a job here because the more Howard, the bigger our universe gets. And that is my message today.
What about the little people, Howard?
They don't matter. Only I matter. Remember that. Little person. Well, you happen to matter. Believe me, in a big way.
Yeah.
But that's another story. No, you do matter. But I am here. I am available. If you need me, come call. You've got a friend. All right.
Howard, it's taken 6 years,
all right,
but
Alex,
it's good to meet you.
I didn't even know you lived in New York anymore. I thought you were a San Francisco
Oh, you knew
guy.
I was here.
I didn't know you. I swear to God, on my life, I did not know you were.
You mentioned me on your show
No,
saying
I didn't.
he's here. It's serious.
I didn't know you were here in the building doing the show.
Oh, you thought I was somewhere else.
I thought you were somewhere else. I only see me in the morning. I don't see anybody walking through the halls. It's like a dead zone here.
Well, I know you have that whole entourage, and you go down the elevator, and it's like, don't get near.
Do you ever run into Cousin Brucey?
Yes.
And that's got to be a thrill for you.
It is.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And what does he say to you? He goes, Cousin Alex.
Well, he talks about himself.
He does. Yeah, right. All right. Thank you guys for allowing me to come down
Howard,
here.
for coming down here.
I feel we straightened everything out or not.
I don't know that I agree with you 100% on the Benji Bronk thing, but I do agree with one thing, and that is every day we should try and make assholes out of ourselves.
Absolutely. The bigger the asshole, the bigger the what?
The bigger the ratings?
The bigger the subscription rates go up. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
Howard's going back to his show now.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, and we'll be right.
Okay, now we can get out of their show.
Hey, Robin.
Hi there. Oh, you can hear me?
Yes.
I didn't know that. We didn't think you could hear me.
We can hear you, Robin.
Because the one thing that Howard forgot to point out was that Benji was not the first interrupter.
He wasn't.
No.
Somebody just told me that. Who was
Yes,
the
it was
first
some.
interrupter?
We don't know who it was, but Benji sort of felt forced to chime in once somebody broke that wall.
I see. Okay, well, you know.
I was told he wasn't going to take questions.
Yeah. Oh, is that Benji?
Yeah, that is Benji.
Hey, that chick there, what's her name?
Would you get on mic, Benji? Where are you?
Could you turn his mic
Hi,
on, Scott?
Benji.
Hey, what's your name?
Oh, there you are.
Christina.
Do you want to hit on her now? Do you want to get rejected by the Alex Bennett show as well?
Howard comes in here, and the only thing he's impressed by is my cohort here.
What does she look like, Alex?
She's everything you'd expect.
I'd like to meet you in the kitchen sometime.
All right, I'll see you there. We can share
Knowing you,
we've got a love
Pepsi and
her in
some
the
pretzel
kitchen.
rods.
I think
She likes you, Benji, so you do have a leg up there.
I think I'm smelling a trip, Christine, at HR.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anything.
I just think you're very
We're
funny,
on the.
Benji,
They can hear
despite
me
what
now.
the Other man says.
You're on with us.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's very cool.
You didn't even have to go there.
Well, Robin.
But thanks for coming, Howard.
Howard, you could have avoided me for yet another year if you just stayed there.
You know, it was a very lovely meeting. Actually,
I know. All of a sudden, where was your fire? You
I'm
just
glowing.
went in there and you calmed down.
Well, Alex was like, "Hey, this is an honor to have you here." And
he knew exactly what to say to you.
There was, however, the thing that disappointed me was there was no ring to kiss.
I know. Well,
You can kiss his tattoo.
We're working on that.
believe it or not, I felt self-conscious having you kiss my ring. I felt weird about it, but no. Alex and I had a talk, and Alex.
I'm very glad you met a new friend.
Well, I know. I don't know what happened.
We didn't send you down there for that reason.
I was supposed to fight with you, Alex.
See, Alex, you don't understand how these things go wrong all the time.
How did it go wrong, Robin? I don't understand what happened.
He was self-effacing, and he complimented you right away, and you fall for that every time.
I know.
Kill him with kindness.
I know.
Well, anyway, great meeting you, Howard.
All right, nice meeting you,
Come
too.
down. I want to see your studio sometime.
Please do. All right.
Great. We would love to have you here.
Okay.
Alex screwed it up. He was nice to me. No, I went down there. First of all, I walk in the studio.
What was going on?
The microphone broke right away. It just fell apart. Fell off. The screw on top fell off and the microphone collapsed. Then the woman whose name I don't know, who sits there with Alex in the morning, she starts typing and talking on the phone while I'm talking.
Yeah, we could hear her.
And then all of a sudden, I started to make my point, and Alex just sat there quietly and wouldn't argue with me.
Well, again, and I didn't know they would be able to hear me because after you left and I started to talk here, they said, "Oh, we can hear Robin. Hi, Robin."
Oh.
And so that's how. And so I told them that Benji wasn't the first interrupter.
Right.
He wasn't the guy who said "bye-bye, pervert."
Right.
And that was a point you didn't make. And Alex,
I didn't make any point.
Alex was surprised by that. He said, "Yeah, I just learned that." And I said, so Benji was now under pressure. Maybe that gets Wiener out of the room, and there'll be no opportunity to interface with this whole crowd. And so he had that performance anxiety, and he launched himself.
Well, anyway, Alex didn't really seem to have that much of a problem with it when I got
He
down
still
there.
didn't agree with you.
Right. Well,
At the end of days.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what happened. It turned out to be nothing.
Bad.
It went bad. It went bad.
And that's what I said to Alex. You see how these things go wrong all the time.
I was looking for a fight, and I couldn't get one out of it.
I know.
What am I going to tell you?
Hey, is the girl really hot?
It's very cute.
Yeah.
Very cute.
You might have seen her before and never known it.
JD hit on her, and supposedly what happened was that she said, "I can't date someone I work with." She gave him that rap. But I'm pretty sure if Brad Pitt started working here,
she'd figure out a way around that rule. Benji's thinking, since she likes him so much, he should go down there and hit her.
Yeah, she's a fan. Yeah, she's very cute. Well, have you met her?
I don't know. I mean, I may have met her, but not knowing that she was on Alex Bennett. I'm definitely gonna meet her.
Very nice looking girl. They have a cute little studio down there.
Yeah?
Yeah, who knew? I don't
know what else goes on around here in the morning.
I didn't even know that anybody else has a studio that's working in the morning. I don't know what goes on around here.
Well, we know that the Hits 1 people are here. We see them all the time. And there's the OQ people.
So you go out in the lobby sometimes.
Oh, that's right. You never move from this room.
I don't know. I went down there and I started
But I don't know any Alex Bennett people. I might have met these people and I don't know.
All I know is I went down there. I was full of fire. And I sat down in the chair.
In the walk, you lost it.
And I started to I kind of was trying to say, "Hey, man, we're great, and you can't criticize us."
The moment you opened your mouth, you were calm and conciliatory.
I know, and I couldn't hear. She sits there on the phone while you're being interviewed. I don't know. Well,
want to go back again now? Do it right?
No, he's a sweet man sitting there, and I don't know. It just felt weird to attack him. It did.
Not so easy in person.
No. I was sitting there, and I'm like waiting for him to go, I'm ashamed to work with you. I wanted something to work me up, and he was just like, hey, man. How you doing? Nice to finally meet you.
Well, so much for going to fight somebody.
Can't even have a fight.
He was no Scott Muni.
No.
He didn't put up a fight.
I went down, and we walked in. I shook his hand. I sat down. He was very nice.
Welcome. See, that's how you disarm a person.
I wanted to fight today. There was nobody to fight with.
Oh, well.
I tried.
Almost happened.
I was good and worked up.
That was funny.
All I know is I sat down. There's this old guy sitting.
I bet.
And he's overweight. And he's just slumped in the chair. And I start to talk, and she's talking on the phone.
I know. I was like, wait a minute. We can
And I
hear
looked
her
over at
talking
Alex. I didn't know what I was saying. So she finally stopped. They kept cutting off my mic because they're trying to cut off her phones.
By the way, that goes on every wrap-up show.
I found myself talking, and he wasn't jumping into it with me. He wasn't saying anything. And I just went,